Aloha, divine ones. Welcome. Yes, you did hear me say that right. I said aloha. Today's message is for a viewer that's on Maui at these times during these forest fires that are just devastating. And so she left a message in the comments box this morning. And she was talking about, first she was requesting a light language transmission, and the guides are going to bring through a light language transmission for difficult times. And in addition to this, they're going to speak directly to her comment that she made about feeling these apocalyptic type times, apocalyptic type times, and she can't help but feel that she's in the middle of all of this devastation, loss of life. And in Ikoroso, they say really it's like a loss of identity. And they'll talk more about this. And they wish to talk about the times that are to come, the times that are upon us, and as well they're bringing through Mother Gaia. They're bringing through earth energy today, a message from Gaia. They're bringing this through as well. So if you're open to this message today, Iniata karasai kinese karasa. They say that it is a big message, a big transmission. So they're saying like get comfortable. And this message requires that you live from your heart, you open your heart, that your heart be open, because together we send a healing to Maui and for the earth. We request that you join us actively in this if you wish. But we deeply request it to send this healing energy to Maui, to the viewer, if there are other viewers, to all of the residents, as small as a tiny ant, to the smallest microorganism, and to the entire like what you would call universe, to all. And we will request this, or invite you to this. We request it. So if you're open to this transmission today, please find a comfortable position and we'll begin. And so today, the guides would like to harmonize energy. Dear ones, sometimes you see that we like to harmonize energy before we begin our transmission, and sometimes we do not. We like you to not get attached to things always being the same, because as you know, everything is energy. Therefore, it's always moving, it's always transforming. Energy can never die. It can only transform, change shape, change manifestations, but it can never die. And this goes for your loved ones, and it also goes for your buildings, your structures, the ways that you identify yourself through things, through your heritage, through your culture, through worth and meaning, the things you give worth and meaning to, and your jobs, your ways of making money and wealth, and like we said, your loved ones, always here in your heart, actually always everywhere. There is nowhere that nothing is. Was that right? There is nowhere that you are not, and there is nowhere that God is not, or source is not, and there is nowhere that anything is not. Everything is always everywhere, all the time. Ia karasa, I'm asking for more on this. Inio korosi ete karasa ichikorotia sakarasa, because anisikoroso, when you what you would call die, when you die, iniotro koraseyate karasa, and you leave your physical body, inisikarasa, and you are then free. Anisukoroso, the truth of you, iniasayato korosa, is iniokorosa experienced, iotokoso, in its fullness, inikoroso chiakarasa, but you can also experience this now, iokoroso, on earth, like a heaven on earth, iniotro koroso tiasakarasa, heaven not necessarily being a place, not being a place, ikarasa, being an experience, being a vibration, and you can experience that vibration here on earth now. But we wish to say, when your loved ones pass in physical form, and you see people passing in physical form, especially when you see things like war and forest fires and devastations, we wish you to know that nothing can be gone from you. That this energy, the soul, lives on, and everything that the soul experienced goes with it. All of your actions, all of your thoughts, everything that you are, that you think, that you build, and that you experience in this human manifestation, when you pass, returns back with you. It's like an imprint on your soul. In your soul, it's an imprint that travels, if you would, with you. And we say travels because it is like an experience of traveling, but also you go nowhere. You are still everywhere, but you experience it as traveling. When you pass, you experience like a feeling like you're going somewhere, and then you begin to know that you're everywhere, and that you can be everywhere. The limitations of human life are not upon you. And that your loved ones, your physical structures that you lose during times that are devastating, even through things they're showing me, even through, I'm not sure why they're bringing this through exactly, but they're showing me things like and they just say it's relevant to it. Like divorce, loss of jobs, can be devastating, because we cannot say that one is more devastating than another. And so then I question them about that, because of course war and forest fires, this is so devastating. And then of course they're telling me the way that a person experiences something is all like valid. Like, I guess, like when you think about it, like from a trauma perspective, it's not the event, it is the response to the event, and this is what they're sharing with me. So they're saying nothing is ever gone from you, even when you experience something so devastating like forest fires, because they're showing me like earth energy here now, the earth, like Mother Gaia, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Even though there's like devastation that happens, like on the earth, the earth, like energetically, is still there and still is strong. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. These are just like, this is so joyful. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Okay, it's never gone from you. Even with the devastation, The energy of this, the essence of this, so energy is still here. So a building falls, crumbles. That energy is like just transformed. The building is made of energy. It's made of love. It's made of all the hands that build it. So many like hands that build it that come together. But it is time upon the earth that there is going to be new ways of building earth. So in ways that you could not even imagine. And in this way, you might start to see old ways like buildings and things. Old ways of doing things, old ways of building things start to like crumble. And this is not scary. It may feel very scary for you. We agree to this. So we say though, through your evolution, and it's not just the evolution of the human, it is the evolution of all. And the way that you manifest and express on this earth, like now you would use bricks and mortar, and before you use sticks and mud, and next you use imagination. So sure, you could say in one way that your buildings were built from the thought or the imagination of sticks and mud. You thought it, you built it, you had the vision of it. Bricks and mortar, same thing. In this way, you spontaneously create. You can't believe it, but you can do it. And structures, and they're showing me structures that can be what is this? It's like a structure that can be there and then gone, like it disappears. It can be a structure like as needed. Like a spaceship that could be like invisible. To the eye, and then can like, I'm making a sound effect now. This is like the sound that I hear that can like expand into like a disc. And then like the disc is part of their body. It's like an extension of their body. You can't believe what you can do. But before this, you will see the way you did things previously, start to crumble. Start to fade. Be dismantled. Many systems being dismantled. Instead of wealth, education, political systems begin to be dismantled. Religious, spiritual, be dismantled. Dismantling. You see, and this is happening now, and will continue to happen. So what we wish to say, and we wish to cycle back now, is to the fires on Maui. We understand that this can be very, very scary and feel like apocalyptic times, and feel when you're in the middle of this, something you have never experienced before, or they're saying to me you don't remember experiencing. Some of you have experienced these very things in other past lives, but that you have not experienced before, you don't remember experiencing before. And they say that this can be very, very sad, very, very distressful, and very hard to keep your groundedness, your centeredness, because there is a lot of these ideas like that are thrown around everything happens for a reason. Oh, that's just the karma of, you know, that place or those people. And while we agree that people come together, like they arrive, they're showing them to me arriving on earth, or other manifestations, other like worlds, realities, that they arrive together and they leave together in groups. So while this is true, very true. Also, sometimes when we say things to each other like, oh, well, everything happens for a reason, they're in a better place now, you know, that's just your bad karma. And you're saying it from like a personality self perspective that doesn't know the truth. And yes, while we agree to the idea of the seeds that are sown in karma, just not necessarily in the ways that you believe it, like you have like a very boxed idea. In is a much grander idea of karma. So while this seems very frightening, there is not this sugarcoating. Why we mention this is because you cannot always look at a frightful situation and then say, oh, well, everything happens for a reason, or yeah, and like try to sugarcoat it. Because this is not our message. This is not our message. There is not a sugarcoating. There is not a spiritual bypassing. There is a real, like from one perspective, there is a very real feeling of sadness and grief, afraid, fear, fear for your life, fear for others' lives, and fear for what the future holds. Loss of identity, identifying yourself with with what you do. And they're showing me, you might see this often in my videos. It is a mermaid with a pearl. It's from Lahaina. And Maui holds a very dear space in my heart. And I wear this divine feminine mermaid often. You know, you might. And so why I'm bringing this up is they show me this, they say this. To say that even like stores, like store owners, your job, that you have your worth and identity wrapped around this. So it feels like a loss. It feels like a loss of who am I? What am I going to do now? Very fearful about money. And it can be very traumatic for people. And so we wish to say, there is an honoring of the human experience. There is a difference between honoring and attachment. And you might think of it like a fine line between these two things, because there is an honoring of it without being attached to it. So when we say always to feel your feelings, feelings are a portal. To like a subtle energy, which is very, very important. To your connecting with guides, like your guides, to your higher self, is through the portal of feeling, sensing, without the story. The story is what continues to build the skyscraper, or continues to build the same world that you've always lived in, is telling the story. It is to feel what is arising without the story, which can be very hard. And this reminds us Iokoroso Chikarasa of another viewer Veronica Inia Torokosu, who asked a question about how we withstand difficult times. Iokoroto Kirasa, things that are how can we stay present in difficult times? How can we stay present when we are in like faced with things that feel like abuse or really challenging things? Then the guides say, you may not be able to always be present, and that's okay. You have been taught to feel bad for your feelings. And we wish to, like an eraser, and you could also erase it, because feelings are valid. It's just the story that is with the feelings that creates more of the same. So more of the feelings, the story fuels the feelings fire. We say, have the feelings, see that they are there, and honor their place, their space on your land. Honor your land. Honor your land. You are like the land. Do you think that you're not like the land? You are one with earth. This is the misconception. This is the separation. Misconception. Honor your piece of land that is connected to all pieces of land you're not separate from, but your physical body and your energy body and are like something to be honored. We do not dismiss the human experience. We do not dismiss the human body. We do not dismiss anything. We integrate it as part of one experience. So all of the fear and the sadness, the apocalyptic feelings, feel that without the story, whatever the story may be of what surely must be coming, of even what the loss is. If you can, dear ones, take out the story and be with the feelings, and begin to notice how the story and the thoughts fuel the feelings greater, right? Fuel the fire of the flames. Begin to be aware of this. This is one step in the realization of the truth of who you are, is realizing there is a storyteller, and it is the personality self, and it all has been normalized. You are telling yourself a story all day long. You are narrating your experience all day long. And so we say, drop out of the puppet show, where you tell a story with a puppet. Drop out of the puppet show. But allow, honor the feelings that are there. And if they have arisen from a thought, yes, notice that this thought created an arising of feelings. And sometimes there is no thought. Sometimes there is what feels like no thought. It is like a energy that is somatic. It is like stuck or embedded in the physical body, and in the energy body, and like stuck there. Feel it. You may feel this. You may inquire, what is this? Without then saying, if you receive an answer to what is this this feeling, that you are experiencing, without saying, this is good, this is bad, whatever, so you might have a feeling and you might say, this is what anxiety feels like, and then from there, not labeling anxiety good or bad, not friend or foe, just so. Ini kirasa, it's just so. So there it is. Io koroso chikia. So there is an experience to be had. Io koroso, it's not a sugar coating. And io koroso, it's an experience. Io koroso chikia, you honor the experience. Io kotia sakarasa, you honor the feelings. Io koroso chikirasa. And if your mind goes on a tangent, io koroso spins the wheel of fear, inio koroso chikoro, and when you catch it, io koroso, you say, aha, inisio tokoso te kinase chikarasa. Anaska, thank you. Anisio koro, thank you for the opportunity to notice io koroso chikirasa, the spinning wheel of my mind. Thank you for the opportunity to see how I've been spinning the wheel of fear. Io koroso chiakarasa. Now, what else is here? In Io koroso chikarasa, thank you for waking me up. Io koroso chiakara. Sometimes it takes a lot of pain, io koroso chikarasa, sadness to wake up. Io koroso chiakarasa, to finally say enough, or to finally search out ikarasa, some answers. Io koroso, or to finally say niotoro koroso, I'm ready to be anisio koro me, the truth of me, anisio koroso. Sometimes it takes the time. Inisio korosa, there is no rush because we say time as you know time. Io koroso chikiakarasa, you're always getting it right. Io koroso chikara, yes, you're always getting it right. You think you're getting it wrong. You see people that are doing something that seems harmful and you say this is very wrong. And from one perspective, we would say yes. And from another perspective, we would say there is a greater picture. It's not a sugar coating. It is a greater picture of a person or a manifestation, or what appears to you as human, a human manifestation that has forgotten that they are divine. Io koroso chiakarasa kirasa, you all have free will. But your free will was meant to be lived in tandem with the remembrance of your divinity. And you have forgotten your divinity and therefore free will, and runs like a rampant. Yes, you have the free will to make the choices, and the choices are lovely. You can make all the choices. What happens when you make the choices from a small self perspective is that it gets like distorted. This is my choices, my free will. I get to choose what I want. I get to do what I want. And they say, when you are in divine tandem, in divine union with source, the truth of who you are, you may exercise free will for the good of all. And in addition to this, you allow all to exercise their free will. Right now you limit each other by trying to keep each other in a box, by trying to tell each other what their expressions should be. So when you exercise free will in tandem with the truth of who you are, what you manifest and create upon earth and anywhere is absolutely beyond your imagination. And so they show it to me like a Dr. Seuss book. And in a Dr. Seuss book, when you would see like all those trees in all those various ways. And in the show, the children's show, well, I can't say children's because I like it too. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. When he comes into town and he delivers all the toys, and they're all toys we've never heard of before. Like this, you express these things you've never heard of before, you've never seen before, and you all have your own unique expression without someone saying, no, this is how a tree should be. These are the types of trees, and these are the trees that we have here on earth. You manifest and create like all these beautiful divine creations, and you let everybody be. Instead of trying to make people be as you want them to be. So we let people be and have their feelings. Integrate them as part of a whole. What do you bring to the feelings, so you bring the light of you. You bring the light of awareness. In the light of awareness, you see the feelings and you also see what is you, what is true. What is beyond the story. Okay. We bring through a healing now. Clearing and healing. For the residents of Maui, the viewers, and everyone and everything. As we always say, this is like on two levels. Excuse me, please. Because in one way there is already just pure healing, like a purity. And in another way, of course, you are experiencing something that feels like maybe the opposite of this. You see, some person is expressing in a way that seems very angry, and at the same time, in the very core of them is the light of God, God in form. The issue is that the God, the source, the divinity is not informing the form. And this is what the issue is. The infinite you, the infinite you, the God that is you and as you, and there's not a separation. The source. When we say source, you might think source is there, and not here. And sources there and here and everywhere. And what happens with the person that is acting in ways that are very angry or harming others is that the source has been covered up and is no longer informing the actions, is no longer informing the free will. So we bring through a transmission now for all, and for healing, and clearing of dense energies that keep you feeling afraid of future events. Because whether you fear them or not, you know. This is an internal knowing that it is part of a divine purpose, but this is not the same language as when you tell another everything happens for a purpose. This comes from, most often, this comes from a place of a mental concept, of an idea that you have been told everything happens for a reason. No, this is a knowing, an actual knowing of the grand purpose of everything. And we can't tell you this. This is something you must know, and you cannot sugarcoat each other or try to band-aid each other with your like a spiritual positivity. So we say, yes, of course there is a place for positivity, but also there is an honoring of the human experience, and you must do both. This is the thing, you must do them both. But when you are informed through truth, so when you say, and you may not even say it, there is like a divine plan, if you would. There's a divine unfolding. This is the word. There's a divine unfolding. It's beautiful. There's a divine unfolding. And it's so much love. This is just so beautiful. There is a divine unfolding for us that is taking place. It's always taking place. And when you experience the knowing, the deep peace that resides here, then you are in peace with what unfolds. You cannot tell another your opinion or your views, like We said before, an opinion is like a pin, and you pin yourself to something or you pin another to something, and therefore you feel like it is a fixed thing once you pin it. And there is only one thing that we would say is fixed. It's not even, using the word fixed isn't even like accurate, but we will say it like this. The fixed thing, if you wanted to call it that, is the truth. The source. Okay, so we begin. Hayasotia and Orokia, Sokoroso, clearing now, Turukiana Makata Sotiana Sokorosatikara Sokorjikara Saitakarasa, and healing. Okia Praktai Shiktai Sokote, Shikira Turkote, Prakte Sekti, Anashukote Prakte, Anotroko Soshi, Waikana Saikarasa. We are always connected through a thread, through a heart. Yokorosea Takarase, Chikorosukadi, Chikara, many things may pull your heartstrings, Iokorotoshi, Anakarasa, to awaken you to the thread in your heart. The thread that runs and runs and runs and runs and never ends. That connects all things. Is a divine weave, a divine web. So may you know it. May you remember that you already know it. So one way we say may you know it. The other way we say may you remember that you already know it. It is already known by you. And the truth of you. Clear. Anything that keeps you from this wisdom, this knowledge, any structures, beliefs, and ideas you have built. Clear. Niki aurokteshi amaktorshi abraktaishi iisi anakote kete korabratashi awaktaiso iniki akorote kete sekere clear niki torokete clear ini brokte ishi awatasikio roto shoto roto hina prakti asho ki amatasi oki amataishi o ki halasho hasia Saishi kia so kianai sho Brataishi amat quare sea brai sho abrai sho kanaya troka seniasha why tarokia braktai sho inia waktai na kaya tukraya braktai shi I ala kaina so ashi awaktai si awa isa so katashi awaktai so kia braktai shi inia trokopatashi aketo shobakata kitiki shiketo inia takota say and so koto brakata so briktia sakarata say so ana brakre say And now they're going to be sending will be sending healing, to Maui, its inhabitants, the earth itself, and this is what we wish, any way that feels authentic for you. You may raise your hands if you like, with us, or you may, any way that you wish, send this healing to Maui, and imagine it, going to Maui, and spreading through the island, and see everything in its perfection. Not a sugar coating. Get a sense of the knowing of its perfection, of your perfection, of the perfection of all. Latanesi awaktai so I priktia sho. Inia saya kaya taikarasa. And from there, sikarasa, allow that energy, the healing energy, to sink down into the earth, Iobrokto so kiakara, and spread Iokoroso chikarasa along the earth, Iokoroso to the center core of the earth, Iokorosa out, Iniokoroso, so it encompasses the entire earth in healing, Iniokoroso, and out into the universe, Iokorose chikiata karasa, Iakarasa chikoroso, as far as you can imagine, Iokoroso, and then farther, Iakarasa, let go of imagination and step into feeling of healing, Iokoroso chikiata karasa, and better yet said, Iokoroso healed, Iokoroso perfection, Iokoro step into this feeling of complete perfection, Iokoroso everything healed, Ayakarasa in its truth, Iokoroso shiakasa. And you may stay with that as you like. Iokoroso chiakarasa. If you wish to pause the video and continue with the healing, you may. Inioso korase chikiana karaso tikiana kasa. Inioto korase chikarete koroso. Draw that energy anisio korose kirasa into your heart. Iakarasa chikarasa. And the space that is beside, behind your heart. Iokoroso chikia. Behind your heart, that there is a space, a drop, a seat of the soul. Drop this wisdom. In here. This wisdom is already here. And your drop of dropping this wisdom into this soul space behind your heart is to acknowledge your remembrance of this wisdom, that you know it already. Is like an intention, but this isn't even quite the right word. Your remembrance, and that you know that we are one, and everything is perfect regardless of the sights you see before you. And it is this perfection, and your ability to connect with it and know it, not just intellectually, to know it, like an internal knowing, like intuitively, but beyond intuitive, with an internal knowing, with a realization that will bring you through the coming times. And now they're bringing through Mother Gaia, Okore, Siakara, Taikenea, Saikori, Breaktia, Saikaina, Saika. My darling ones, together we have been on a great transformation, and it is like a purge, if you would. What are we purging? The emotions, the pain, the suffering, the things that don't serve, the harms that have been done upon this land, to each other and to Iokoroso, the land itself. Iokoroso chikia, the toxins inio praktia sakorote kinesa that stream in the earth and stream in the water. Iokoroso chiana karasa, and in the air. Inikia, the atmosphere. Iokoro, that affect all. Iniotro korosi chikia, no one like escapes from this. Everyone is impacted by this in one way or another because we are connected. Always connected. You view us us as separate. You walk upon the earth without the thought about the smallest ant and the smallest creature, thinking that somehow one is more important than another, one life is more important than another. All lives are equal in Iokoroso in their importance. All has their place. Iokoroso chikarasa. This world, Iokoroso, there is always a time and there is always a place. There is a divine time, there is a divine place for everything, and everything comes and goes. And together now we are on a great purge of Iokoroso, like toxins, like through your physical body, Iokoroso toxins. And toxins from the foods, toxins that have gone into the earth, toxic emotions and feelings, and the things that have been placed upon the earth, done upon the earth, that have brought harm to others. We are purging this together now. You might experience changes in your physical body and in your energy body. Your energy body is just as important as your physical body. The way that you care for your physical body is in the same way that you can care for your energy body. This is of the utmost importance that you take care of your energy body. Many layers of energy bodies. Many layers. Like aspects. And your physicality as well. As we go through these times together, we call it a great purge. The guides are here, and Gaia is here in my heart, and they say we call this like a time of purging. Not scary, not people or anything like that. And so they're saying of like things that have happened that have been harmful and toxic to the earth and to each other. So we start purging. We have been purging. We have been purging and moving to this. Always on this like a trajectory of evolution and release. There is a release. As you wish your altitude or your frequency to be higher, to this degree you must be willing to release. What is the releasing? Is of the attachments that you have to each other. Do you have to things, like materialistic things, and to things always remaining the same. Things are changing, they will continue to change, but the truest part of you is unchanged. Remains the same. Peace and love. This is like like the perfume of the flower. So the truth of who you are, from the realization of this, the love and the peace is what like blooms from that realization. So is it fair to say that you are love and peace? No, because you are, like we said before with this cake, you are not the whole cake, but you are. So love and peace are like an aspect aspect of a totality of you. So you see all the ingredients, like we said before, go inside the cake. And when you take the slice out, that's you. But when you go back, so while you were a slice of cake, a human experience, you were still cake. And all of the ingredients that were in cake are still in you. And when you go back to the whole cake, when you go back here again, you get the whole totality. You know the totality, and that you are cake. Cake isn't like a fixed thing, like you would normally think of a cake, like a fixed thing. You know the totality of it. So you know the ingredients come from everywhere. Everything is in cake. Hopefully this like analogy helps you understand the vastness of you. And that everything is contained within you. So shiakanasai tukoroso. Okay. Iniata karaso, kiana sakarasa. And they're just sending out some energy now. And love. Io korose chikiana korosai chikirasa karasai tikoroso chikiana sakarasa. Ayasa koroso. Okay, thank you so much to the viewer for your request for this, and I'm wishing so much for you to be safe. The guides are telling me, they're surrounding you with protection now. Everywhere in Isikurosa is protected. Specifically for you, since you request this transmission for you, and the people of Maui, but they spread it out. For all the debris and harmful chemicals that come from the fire. For this too. So kianasai, okay, na so shia karasa, So thank you so much for your request. I am praying for you to be safe, and all the people, oh my goodness, all of the people on Maui, and of course all of the world, I mean, we're doing this transmission today for a viewer on Maui, and really for all of us, and they're showing me all of us, like in a different, what is this world? It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I say it's a different world, but they tell me it's like actually right here before our eyes. We don't see it because of our vibration. It's like not viewable, if you would. But it's like right here, right now. And we are all part of this. So thank you so much for your request today. And as always, thank you to the guides for bringing through this transmission today. And as always, we're sending you so much love. Mahalo.